Today on ISO Watch, we are looking at a distribution which focuses on beginner friendliness and accessibility. The Debian-based distribution called Handy, right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Before we begin, a general greeting for all of the naysayers out there. This is not a review. You are watching a usability experiment in a virtual machine. You are getting my initial impression of the software. I will miss any elements which are transparent to end users on first glance. I do not take the time to research features. That is your responsibility if you want to try the software. I will not spend enough time with this distribution to form a valid opinion. Viewers who are offended by this policy are advised to peruse alternative venues for their edification. With that out of the way, I give you HandyLinux. About a week ago, this distribution caught my eye in that it looks like this is a unique implementation of XFCE, so I had to download it and give it a try. HandyLinux is available in two languages, both English and in French. So you have a English README and a French lisez-moi. Boy, that just rolls off the tongue so much nicer than README. Lisez-moi. I love it. All right, well, let's take a look and see what you get here. This is the XFCE desktop. This is using kernel 3.16, so I'm guessing this is based on Debian stable, because we're all in the version 4 kernels already on Manjaro, that sort of thing. If I'm wrong, sue me. All right, you have a power button so you can log out of your session. This little arrow here shows some hidden activity icons such as the HP lip service and the Bluetooth services that are running. If you're not using either of those, you'll need to go in a session and start up and remove those. Network indicator and volume control. All right, and you got this little stick figure, but I want to talk about this. They've got the Orca screen reader with this. And so with this, for those of you who have vision problems and need a screen reader, this Linux distribution already has that built in for you. All right, and then they have a number of other nifty little tools with this in their accessibility menu here, such as changing the appearance of the system, and you can choose different appearances for this. They also have another nifty little utility that they made called Handy Theme. If you click on this, you can change the look of the desktop and even the fonts too. I think I'll just go with the standard one here. And let's look at some of the other options here. I haven't looked at all these yet. Alright, your mouse and touchpad. That doesn't look much different than what we have in XFCE already. They've bundled a few things in here. The color inverter wouldn't work for me at all. Period. Zip not a zilch. Zip not a zilch. I tried it before. It wouldn't work. Screen filter. They have Redshift in here. So for those of you who spend hours upon hours upon hours in front of the computer screen, this will help save your eyes a little bit. Personally, I just use dark themes. So I don't really use Redshift that much. It's good they threw that in there, though. Copy, paste. You have access to their wiki, and it is a complete guide. And then, of course, they have keyboard and mouse accessibility options available here. But those are also available through the control center. All right, now on XFCE, many of you know there's a simple menu, and then there is the whisker menu. But HandyLinux brings something completely different to the table here. And when I saw this is one of the things that caught my eye, is the Handy menu. And what's really interesting about the menu is the fact that it is fairly easy to configure. You do have a gear that you can click here, which will allow you to open this up, and you can manage what appears in those little handy tabs. Okay, so you can actually just drag and drop applications in here if you want to, very simply and easily. Arguably, maybe even better than the Menu Libre that we use with the Whisker menu, or if you use Zame or one of those other menu editors. This is a neat little feature, and I dare to guess that this is probably less destructive than using a menu editor editing the menus in XFCE. So I really like what this brings to the table here. Now, one thing you're going to notice is when I've launched this menu, okay, when I click something, basically it's going to close. You can stop that from happening by clicking up here, the close after execution. Okay, this opens up their web page here, and it's in French. So yeah, but you have this option to check that, and it'll close after execution. Unchecking it will keep it open. All right, you've got quick access to all of your entire file system, your pictures, your documents, music, videos, downloads, that sort of thing right here. All of your Office Suite tools are included here. Okay, your multimedia tools, games. And this last tab is somewhat of a misnomer here. It's called Adventurers. I'd probably call that one Activities. But then again, remember, this is loosely translated from French. But under Detailed Configuration here, this opens up the XFCE Configuration Center, and I'm sure those of you who use XFCE are already familiar with this. Everything you need for managing and controlling the system is done right here, from your appearance, your desktop settings. And I do believe this, yes, this is using an older version of XFCE, and that is to be understood because of the fact that this is Debian stable. And so, you know, if you're looking for a distribution that is completely, totally rock solid and stable, this will do it. All right. Printer configuration. You can configure your network, open a terminal. There's an applications listing here. But this is something that really shines. Okay, and it's really good when we see distributions bringing in their own software centers, okay? Rather than searching, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the software center itself. And it looks like they've got their own little in-house application for managing software. Okay, simply click an item, all right, and then it gives you information on the package, okay? And then gives you a screenshot if there is one available. Okay, we've already got this installed, so it gives us the option to remove it. But if there's an application in the listing here, maybe we want to use Calibra, and we don't have it installed, it does give us the option to install this package. Gives you a listing of all the details in this package and a screenshot. I think this is really cool. I like what they put together here on this. So in terms of user friendliness and that sort of thing, I think they've got the good idea here. README documentation gives you information right here about joining the forum and that sort of thing. And also, after I freshly installed this and I can't figure out where I put it, there was also a link to some documentation. And where I got a chance to take a look at their wiki and stuff like that, and it's well written. Even though, considering that it's being going from French to English, at least it's detailed, and there's plenty of information there, so that's always a good thing. I like what I see here, though. This is good stuff. We have their documentation here, and I believe what I need to do is, when we get on here, we need to select that we want the English site. Why don't I just see if I can just type in EN here. You would think they'd have this set up. There we go. So all I had to do is change the menu. But the thing is, you would think that that's the only pet peeve I have with this, clicking the internet help, and we've installed English. You would think it would give you a link to the English page, and I had to manually change it from FR to EN to get the English documentation. But they do have plenty of it here, and so that all looks really good here. And for those of you who are using XFCE and you want that traditional look and feel, you can have it. Right-clicking on your panel and going into panel preferences, you can actually go in if you want to under items, and you can add the whisker menu. It's actually included with this. So if you want to add that, you can have it. And we'll just go ahead and position this. So rather than having the handy menu, if you still prefer the whisker menu, it's here if you want it. So they didn't cripple XFCE in any way that I could see. So at the end of the day, I'm pleased I had an opportunity to stop and have a look at HandyLinux. I think this is a terrific distribution for beginners who are looking for user accessibility features. While the handy menu itself really doesn't sit well with me personally, I think this is a great option for those of you who may be setting up a computer system for a family member who has accessibility needs, or maybe even a grandmother who doesn't have any computer skills at all, and you want to put together a machine that's old lady proof. This would be a perfect distribution to run on it. All right, I liked the software center. That was a nice little piece there. You got the screen reader, the other accessibility features. So I would have to nod my head and say this is a competent effort in its own right. Well, that's all I have on this. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing next on Cup of Linux, but I'm sure I'll probably have something equally exciting sometime in the near future. Until then, peace out.